go get them again.
Welcome back to another unboxing first impression video on my channel. Today we are delving into the brand of Dior, and this one from the Eau Sauvage line, the classic line. I got my little collection right here, but this one is called Eau Sauvage Cologne. Man, I've had this thing boxed up like this for years. I remember looking at it at the other side of the camera there, the bad side of the camera, but where a lot of fragrances go to die because they don't get unboxed. But yeah, we're putting a little bit of a dent this month on the purgatory over there. That's what I'm calling it. A bunch of stuff that I bought. I would say I'm in, this is bad, but like last year I should have delved into these unboxings. I was unboxing more stuff that I was decanting and not my personal collection. So like 2022, 23, 24, this is spillover 24, 25 that I've been purchasing right here, but all that stuff over there, tons of fragrances that just have been collecting dust. And this is one of those, Eau Sauvage Cologne. Now this one was really hard to find online, and anything, like when that whole, like, you know, this is part of that subsection that we have, like the sport versions of fragrances, and then you had the summer edition of fragrances, and then you had the cologne version of fragrances. The problem with the cologne version, especially if you're looking online, is that a lot of discounters and retailers put the original Eau Sauvage as cologne. So if you're searching it, you're going to see this. So there's a lot of really a lot of searching for no real reason. Like, it's, you know, when you're trying to find like something like rare like this, you know, Eau Sauvage Extreme here, which is fairly rare. You pop in Extreme, you're going to find those black bottles and you're going to see them. You're going to find them. It's easy. This is kind of like a mishmash of like a top seller here for the brand. So you're gonna have to search a little more digging. So a little crazy there in regards to trying to find it. I believe this cologne version is still kicking around in Europe. And again, my European friends, like, I haven't been in Europe in a while now. I need to make a trip. But I think it's still available in Europe, but I think it was axed in the States. Now, you know, as a fragrance reviewer, I always tippy-toe on this discontinuation thing, just because brands do that in they can discontinue a fragrance that's not selling well, let's say in the States. In North America, they'll just keep it in Europe, or it sells well in Asia, they'll discontinue in Europe and in North America. So I just want to be very careful. A lot of brands do that in sections. It's easier to just discontinue the whole thing altogether, but sometimes when they're a super hot seller and they're really not doing well in other countries, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So I think it's still in Europe, but the States lost it. So these are one of those fragrances that kind of had that kind of thing, and maybe it's eventually out of Europe. I'm not up to it on that, and we'll let our European friends tell us if it's still available. But yeah, a hard thing to find, the cologne. So if you're new here, welcome to the Robezoid channel. I'm your host, Mark, proud Canadian, by the way. I'm not American, I'm Canadian, proud Canadian. Hit that subscribe button, smash that like button if you are interested in continuing this journey with me. My fragrance channel is a journey. This is stuff that I was interested in, I purchase, I smell, and I give you my thoughts. No free bottles from any brand, nothing like that. I'm just here as a hobbyist. This is not my 9 to 5. However, I'm grinding like it is my 9 to 5. Because I am spitting out, I think, more content than these influencers, just to kind of show you a hard worker. Because if you're doing this for your 9 to 5 and I can outdo you at night and doing these kind of fragrance reviews, and with, of course, the content that I'm giving, I'm not like just spitting up Fragrantica stuff. This is good content, at least in my personal opinion. I think I spit up good content. Yeah, support me, because there's some late nights here, midnight, 1 a.m., kind of editing, hoping to get you some content out. But helping out the community is a big thing. And something like this won't get the clicks, the views. I already know this. People think that I don't know YouTube. But this is going to help out. If it helps out like 2 or 3 people, I did my job. So let's take a look at the note breakdown. Let's see, like, this one's a fairly fresh fragrance, you know. It has that old school French, you know, classical style. So let's take a look at the notes. And the top note, we have bergamot, grapefruit, and orange. So very citrusy, very light from the top notes. In the mid, we got petit grain, Hirion, galbanum, and pink pepper. So you're getting a little bit of bite. You're getting a little bit of green from the galbanum, petit grain as well. Hirion, of course, that jasmine floral mid. So we're going to see if we get that. And in the base, we have vetiver, so green, rooty. So very, and what I'm expecting from a cologne from Eau Sauvage is watered down Eau Sauvage. That's what I'm expecting. However, Dior can go either way. Now, this is a François Demachy creation, created in 2013 or 15. Oh, jeez. I think it was 15. So it's a Demachy creation, and he's fairly good at doing flankers. Like this one was his baby as well. I got the original Eau Sauvage Parfum edition, which is absolutely outstanding. So he can do some great things with old school DNA like this. So I'm looking forward to it. At pricing, I couldn't find a retailer, USD. So I'm going to put not applicable. And good luck finding it online. I'm sure if I did a little more digging, I could find it somewhere, maybe on other websites. But I just it's like a little harder to find. I already had fun trying to find this myself. So now let's finally unbox this. This has been in that pile because it's like at the front of the pile. So I've seen it a lot, this box, and I'm just like finally happy that it's out of there. And things are moving over there. So it's kind of nice to see that I'm having a little bit of space back there where the camera is. Maybe I'm going to start moving these off the top here to start unboxing those as well. So this is a 50 mil, I believe. It looks like it's a fairly small box, so I'm assuming it's a little guy. And yeah, it's got the white stripe around it. It's got the white, it's got the white stripe up top as well. That's new because this cap is black. Yeah, it doesn't have the gray, it's got CD at the top. Very modern old school classic bottle, but it has a modern take to it with the CD up top. Really nicely done. Actually, I kind of like that step, but they got the sticker around it, Eau Sauvage Cologne. So let's put on strip first. We always do that, and then we put it on skin. And it's going to be my scent of the day today. And starting a spring is in the air. Actually, here in Canada, where I live, we have our first day. And I'm in Celsius, right? Our first day of plus, like it's barely there. It's +1 today. So the snow's kind of melting. Sorry, I go in story mode and then I smell the scent and I'm just like, oh, okay, he's getting distracted already. But we got our +1 today. It's nice to see, like I got all these windows in my fragrance room right here. And this is beautiful. Really good citruses, very natural smelling citruses. Sharp grapefruit as well. Bergamot is definitely there. Orange, I'm getting all of it. Beautiful. Beautiful. The citruses are gorgeous, like high end. Let's wear this one. Like, let's wear it more. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Citruses, well done and modernly done, by the way. It's not like old school citrus and herb kind of thing going on, kind of like how you would kind of feel about it. It's really well reworked, kind of like they did with this one, with the darkness with this one, keeping the old idea and making it thinner. Yeah, that grapefruit is sharp, natural citruses, a little bit of petit grain here. You're getting a little bit of that green, a little bit of that vetiver, so a little bit of rootiness. Citruses are bright, they're vibrant. And then you're getting a little bit of kind of like a barbershop feel in the back end a little bit with citruses. So lemony, floral, woody. That's mostly about the vetiver. Yeah, the Hirion's giving out its transparent jasmine appeal here as well. But the citrus is bursting, like it's acidic, it's lemony, it's fresh, faint green touch from the petit grain. Galbanum's also there, but not heavily resinous as it can be, or very daring. It's not. This is very pleasant, mature, well put together fragrance. And again, I don't want to say mature, like, oh, like if people resonate this with grandpa, would you resonate this with grandpa? I don't think so. I think this is a really good stepping stone. Like Demachi, like I said, I think this is a perfect way to segue into this unboxing, is that they took a classic like this, and Demachi did a darker version with his myrrh, which he used in Fahrenheit as well, which is absolutely outstanding. And then he went in the other direction here and added a whole bunch of beautiful citruses and thinned out the fragrance enough that I really feel like wear it to work, versatile, signature scent worthy. You know, these are really well done. Like a comparable would be a Dior Cologne, right? The first version, or was it the second version? Like almost like a airiness of it. It has a little bit of Dior Cologne, which of course Demachi penned as well. You know, things like, you know, there's some greenness in here, so you could go into like the Xerjoff territory, like the Neos. You can go into Bergamot by the different company, to Bergamot 22 by Le Labo as well. There's a fairly strong bergamot note in here, but it has that thinness, a little bit of greenness, but it also has that classic appeal as well. I really like this one. Like it's not super modern, like super crazy, like, you know, from smelling a lot of stuff that I've smelt recently, the 2025 releases, right? I smelled some Gucci's, I smelled some Paco Rabanne Phantoms, Elixirs, and Jean-Paul Gaultier, like the new ones. This is a masterclass in perfumery. Like it's just night and day. Like, I don't know, like this excites me a little bit. Is it new? No. Is it well composed? Hell yeah. It definitely is. It's beautiful. And you could tell, like, the way I review stuff, like these 2025, some of them, some are good. Like I gave some 8s and some 9s out there, but like this is not new. Like I already compared it to Neo, some Xerjoff's citruses, which is good. Like that's a compliment, because Xerjoff is really good with their citruses. And it has a little bit of that Renaissance as well, without the mint, of course. But, you know, it pulls a little bit of Dior Cologne, which is really good as well. And it pulls a little bit of Bergamot 22 from Le Labo, which had hype beast in the fragrance community, versus Bergamot from different company, which had no hype, but was equally as good. Yeah, this is a good fragrance, like signature scent. Dress it up, dress it down. Yeah, casually, you can wear it on errands. You can wear it with a tux at a wedding. You can wear it in the office daily, every day. You don't have to think about it, but it's well composed. And that's one thing with citruses is, you know, this possibly, like it's not a, it's not a wow factor that it's going to be like #1 on my list of like spring or summer designers. However, I wouldn't be surprised if this made it in the top 10 spring and summer, but like more in the middle of the pack or later in the pack. That I'm going to be wearing this during one summer, and another summer I might forget about it. It's kind of like those like Neo, and like the ones I just named off, like Neo and Bergamot 22, Dior Cologne. They show up in top 20s on my lists, but they fall out and they come back because the quality's there. So, you know, it's not like one and done. This is really well done. If it is still available in stores at certain places like Europe or Asia or even the United States, I might be wrong. Eau Sauvage Cologne, especially if you do like this DNA, highly recommended by me. It is well composed. It's going to get some wearings this year. Starting this spring. Like today, like that +1, like still lots of snow on the ground, lots here in Canada. But you know, it'd be perfect for like, I'm going to go for a walk here later and just go into the bushes here and check out, obviously maybe see some wildlife or something, but perfect set for spring and summer. So a good one from Christian Dior, and this is kind of like the forgotten line, right? Everybody wants to talk about DHP that just got released and how Francois has done, you know, bad things to Christian Dior, and the Privé line gets its love. But looking at the flankers of Eau Sauvage here, this is an excellent scent. Excellent scent. Wow. Now that you've heard my take, I'd love to see yours in the comments below. Good, bad, and the ugly. Highly recommended for me. That was really, really good. As always, a great import fragrance will make a lasting impression. Choose your summer and spring scent fragrance wisely. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a good one.